The 2024 U.S. presidential election is shaping up to be a nail-biter. Kamala Harris faces a formidable challenge from Donald Trump. Current polls show a slight edge for Harris, but the margin is razor-thin. The stakes could not be higher. The election will decide the direction of the country on critical issues. It will also be a referendum on the tumultuous Trump presidency. Adding to the tension is the deeply polarized state of American politics. Early polling data from key states offers a glimpse into the potential outcome. Pennsylvania and Arizona are emerging as key battlegrounds. Both states are must-wins for Trump, while Harris hopes to flip Arizona blue. In Pennsylvania, Harris holds a narrow lead within the margin of error. Trump won Pennsylvania in 2016, but it flipped blue in 2020. The state's white working-class voters will be key. Arizona presents a different challenge. Trump's popularity among Hispanic voters could give him an edge. Harris needs to improve her standing among this demographic. The close polls underscore the importance of voter turnout. Both campaigns are investing heavily in get-out-the-vote efforts. Voter turnout will be crucial in determining the outcome of this election. Demographic shifts and evolving voting patterns add another layer of complexity to the equation. Both campaigns are laser-focused on identifying and mobilizing their base, recognizing that even a small shift in turnout could tip the scales. The Harris campaign is banking on high turnout among African American and Hispanic voters, two demographics that overwhelmingly supported Democrats in recent elections. They are also targeting younger voters, who tend to be more liberal but have historically low turnout rates. The Trump campaign, on the other hand, is hoping for a surge in turnout among white working-class voters, a group that turned out in droves for him in 2016. They are also hoping to capitalize on voter enthusiasm in rural areas, where Trump remains popular. The outcome of the election may hinge on which campaign is more successful in getting their voters to the polls. Both sides are employing sophisticated data analytics and micro-targeting techniques to identify and mobilize potential voters. Beyond Pennsylvania and Arizona, a handful of other swing states are poised to play a pivotal role in this election. Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and North Carolina are all considered toss-ups, with polls showing a statistical dead heat between Harris and Trump. These states, with their diverse populations and mix of urban and rural areas, represent a microcosm of the nation's political divide. They are also home to a significant number of undecided voters, making them prime targets for both campaigns. The candidates are expected to blanket these states with campaign appearances, television ads, and ground game operations in the final weeks leading up to the election. Their every move will be scrutinized as they try to win over undecided voters and energize their base. The outcome in these swing states will likely determine the outcome of the election. The candidate who can build a winning coalition in these states will be the next president of the United States. National polls paint a picture of a race that is too close to call. While Harris holds a slight lead in some polls, the margin is within the margin of error, meaning that the race is essentially tied. The closeness of the race is a reflection of the deep partisan divide in the country. Both candidates have a solid base of support. Harris is popular among Democrats, minorities, and young people. Trump remains popular among Republicans, white working-class voters, and rural voters. The election will likely be decided by a small number of undecided voters in a handful of swing states. The volatility of the race is another factor adding to the uncertainty. Polls have swung back and forth in recent months, suggesting that voters are still making up their minds. The close polls underscore the importance of every vote. With the race this tight, even a small shift in voter sentiment could determine the outcome. Adding another layer of complexity to the 2024 election is the battle for control of the Senate. The outcome of the Senate races will have a profound impact on the next president's ability to govern. A president with a supportive Senate can advance their agenda more easily, while a president facing a hostile Senate will find it difficult to enact their policies. Currently, Democrats hold a slim majority in the Senate, but many seats are up for grabs in this election. Republicans are hoping to retake control of the chamber, which would give them significant leverage over a potential Harris presidency. Control of the Senate could determine the fate of key legislation on issues like healthcare, climate change, and gun control. It could also affect the confirmation process for Supreme Court justices and other federal judges. The battle for the Senate is likely to be just as close and contentious as the presidential race. Voters will be making decisions that will shape the balance of power in Washington for years to come. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the like button.